to please introduce themselves.
My name is Justin Sani. I'm the lead narrative designer.
Hi guys, I'm Vanessa Torres. I'm the lead character artist. Unfortunately not present today is Heidi Juarez, who is our lead environment artist.
I'm Renee, and I'm the lead game designer.
And I'm David Morhar. I'm the engineering lead.
Okay, so today we're going to be telling you about Teddie and I. Now, Teddie and I is a 2.5D platformer puzzle adventure game about a young boy named Aaron that has to travel through a nightmarish realm with his best friend and teddy bear Teddie to face the monsters living inside. And unlike most children whose fears are based on trivial things, Aaron's come from the trauma sustained via the loss of his mother and his father's subsequent abuse. And for more about that, I'm going to hand off to Justin to tell us about the narrative.
So, about the game itself. So, we want the player to really experience the connection of Teddie and Aaron. We want them to experience the world that Aaron created from his imagination. Because the world currently didn't always used to be like this. It used to be something much cheerful and much more interesting and more childlike. Now it's corrupted and twisted. And like I said, this world though, this world is not a 2D world, a 2D backdrop, it's a 2D monster. It's a 3D world that's living and breathing, made from the child's imagination and from the promise. The lesson we want the player to get from this is to understand what Aaron has gone through, really connect with Aaron and Teddie on a new level, and to understand what happens to a child when he suffers these type of abuses. Because to some children, some monsters are real. And I'll hand it off to Vanessa to talk more about the characters.
Thank you, Justin. So our goal through the end of our characters was to take the concepts from narrative and our fleshed out concepts and take them from that to the engine. And so they went through the run-of-the-mill process for character setup. From our high-poly sculpt, we developed our low-poly model, optimized it for the game. We sent them down the road of texturing and rigging. And once we were happy with the rigs and the solid class of the textures, we brought them into Unreal and set up their animation blueprints. Our goal moving forward with the characters is to continue refining the rigs, continue developing animations as the design mechanics see fit, and tweaking the overall look as we receive player test feedback. Next slide. On the 2D end, our simple goal was to hone in on our character monster style, given prompts from narrative and our design team. So our three concept artists developed a heavy lineup of silhouettes. The full lineup consists of about 50. They are spurred from iterations and critiques based upon feedback by me, Jonathan, and our narrative and design team. Our goal moving forward with concepts is to keep going, continue with reiteration and exploration, and hopefully refine some of these concepts to eventually throw them down the 3D character pipeline. On that note, I'll pass it on to Jonathan to cover environment.
So since Heidi is not here, I'm going to be covering environment art. So really our goal for this semester was to collaborate with the narrative team in order to really bring the world to life, in addition to really hone in and nail down the art style of the game and really figure out the visual feeling. And as you can tell, we've managed to accomplish that quite well. We started off with the bedroom and used that as a starting ground to define the kinds of textures and the feel, and then from there expanded to the forest and started developing several key areas. In addition to porting over to 3D, which you can see here, we actually have that is in-engine, and we hope to continue to expand on that and to really refine and to continue to bring the world to life over the rest of the semester. And just a blown up version of that, as you can see, this is like the visual feeling we're going for. Obviously, we still have to do some things like making the mushrooms actually look like their real world counterparts. But aside from that, I think we're in a very good place. So Renee, would you please talk about mechanics?
So as a lead designer, I had to oversee all the potential mechanics, the interactions between Teddie and Aaron, and the potential puzzles and platforming levels that we have to create. So the entire goal was to make the interactions between the two very seamless and very interactable, but more of all entertaining for the player. So we created over 50 so layouts on sketches, and then we had to import them over to Unreal, and we did over 50 blockouts of each level that we sketched out. And the goal of that was just to see what was fun and what wasn't fun. And by doing so, we were able to implement a bunch of different types of mechanics, like pressure plates, levers, trigger doors, rope swinging, a bunch of things that you could normally see in a platforming game. And now we're trying to see if it interacts well with Teddie and Aaron dynamic duo. And then moving forward, we're going to be taking the 50 sketches and we're going to be refining them and we're going to be trying to see if we can implement them throughout the gameplay, and then tie that with the story that we're going to be implementing moving forward. And then all these blockouts that you see, these are part of significant story plots that we have moving forward. So we're going to try to start refining them and making them more entertaining and more fun for the player experience. And then to talk more about how everything works, I'm going to hand it over to David.
Hello. So with such a large team, the engineering goals kind of shift a little bit. So I kind of focused on trying to make our or everyone else's jobs as fluent and easy as possible. And to that end, we wanted to provide many reusable systems and abstractions that will allow designers to script the experience and then assist in the creation of that experience and the production of those underlying mechanics. To this end, we've created one big system, this abstraction layer that will allow designers to basically implement, or not implement, but script out the actions that are associated with a particular puzzle or scene. We call this the sequence action scripter, or SAS for short, and the basic way this works is that a designer can go in, place nodes, attach any amount of actions, be them animations, gameplay mechanics, affecting other things, and then we as engineers can come in and fill those out with the tools that Unreal has provided for us. We also wanted to adapt the AI behaviors to be a little more simple in the behavior trees and to make heavy use of this system. So we've adapted both Teddie and several monsters. The major one right now is being the charge monster, as we're calling it. And then we've assisted in the creation of numerous gameplay mechanics ranging from poison gas clouds, to springboards, to swinging obstacles, etc. Moving forward, we really want to start working on level streaming so that we can create a continuous and performant world, while also enhancing SAS with additional abilities such as, playing a certain amount of animations before activating something. And then finally, we want to go back and refine some of the mechanics that kind of are a little hit or miss at this point. So Kelly's up next.
So basically, all of these kind of talked about what they're shooting for each other. I'm going to talk a bit briefly about the overall. So overall, our game has 4 narrative sections, and we aren't necessarily going to make them in order. We're actually going to pick the part that includes the most mechanics or most complex. And we're going to, in order, we're going to make from complex to simple, so it's easier for us to scope down in the case that we don't have enough time. We may have a great demo of full level, and it's actually fun. That's all that matters. So that goes down to demo.
So while Renee is setting up the demo, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about our audio team. So we actually have been working with a composer and several sound designers, and including a sound implementer. And right now we actually do have a bank of sounds. Unfortunately, we were not able to actually implement them in time for the demo. However, we did include one of our background music pieces, which is more focused on intense scenes, like the ones you'd expect to find with monsters involved. Now, Renee is going to go ahead and show you the game actually works. And 1 second while we actually get the game working. Try reopening.
Try turning off your Xbox dashboard too. Just saying.
You gotta have the controller plugged in before you start.
You're gonna have to go in and delete your driver and then reinstall it.
So is there any possibility of postponing the demo to a little bit from now?
You can do the other team.
Sure. Let's
Let's take a quick. Okay, we're gonna give it a quick 2. So let's keep chatter low while Teddy and I stand up a new build. And okay, so quick quiet 2 minutes, please. Thank you. Okay.
Sorry for the delay there. As you can see, we actually have our 2 main characters in the game already. They're fully animated, and Teddy is actually capable of following you around. But more than that, he's capable of helping you solve the actual puzzles. So Renee, would you go ahead and show them up ahead that there's a button on top that'll actually help you get up there. So as you see, there's a button up there, and you're actually capable of picking up Teddie, and more than that, you can actually throw him to help you. And once he gets up there, he'll actually automatically go over to where he needs to be and start helping you solve the puzzle. And so for this next segment, you're going to actually have to work with Teddie just a little bit more in order to really show off and really work together in order to solve the puzzle. So one of the first things you're going to have to do is work your way into the next segment.
I'm trying. Teddy's following me.
As you can tell, we definitely still have some technical bugs, and that we'll be working very hard to pan those out.
Teddy is useless.
So as you can see, we open up the door down there, and now we're going to go ahead and get Teddie to where he needs to be. And he actually knows Fui and by himself to go over to the next segment, and he'll actually make his way across. And he's eventually going to help Aaron get down, so that way he can avoid the falling damage of actually continuing on. So now moving right along, we're going to have Teddie follow us along. And we actually have a number of other puzzles. And again, like in various situations, there might be poison gas that you have to work around, and that Teddie has to help you overcome. So we're going to get Teddie to follow us back now, and we're going to make sure we keep that door open for him. And we're going to continue moving on to the next segment. And again, same kind of thing, but a little bit more colorful. And so as you can see, there's a lot of things that Teddie can do that you can't. But there are also some things that Aaron can do that Teddie can't, such as climbing. Now, of course, we don't quite have the ambitions for it. So for now, we have some placeholder actions.
Teddy's a jetpack.
And again, you can continue moving forward with him. And this is pretty much the basis of the game. It's working with him in order to solve these puzzles. And really, we want to try and see what complexity we can get out of this and really make the gameplay interesting and unique from anything else that's out there. And as you can see, as we're coming up, we have a good deal of art assets already in the game. Now we have run into several very disturbing graphical issues where it'll actually kind of warp, and we've discovered that this may be due to improper LEDing, so we're going to be turning that off in the coming week. But again, there's key like platforming things like using a rope to cross, and again, trying to get that really visual feel into it. This is the first pass, so of course there's definitely a lot of work to get done there. And pretty much this is the core essence of our game. It is working with Teddie, and in terms of narrative, we're going to have dialogue sequences coming up. Probably not until next semester though, because that'll be probably more of a polished step. And we also hope to get 1 to 2 cinematic sequences done to really flesh out the story. And that is more or less our game.
All right. Okay, we're running short, so we can do 3 questions. Questions?
Teddie fully controlled by the AI.
Could you speak up a little bit?
Teddie is fully controlled by the AI, or
Yeah, so Teddie is meant to be fully controlled by the AI. Of course, we intend to expand upon the SAS system by actually giving players some more control. Specifically, we want to set up a system where when you point the camera towards an object that's interactable that Teddie can use, it'll actually highlight or something to that effect, and then you can tell Teddie to go there specifically so that way you have a little bit more interactability and gives the players some more fine-grained control. Of course, there will also still be sequences like we currently have where things remain a little bit more automated in the sense that he's intelligent enough to know how to do things by himself. Yes?
How about the camera? Because I've seen a number of times where the players having trouble seeing what's
Yes.
happening. So is that automatic or do you control it?
So you actually control the camera, but we need to, there's some bugs we've been running into in which we're having a hard time getting the camera to be farther away and changing the degree of frequency in which it can turn. Those are features that are meant to be in there, but there are currently bugs. But that is something we are focused on, and also trying to make use of something like a down tilt camera so you can actually see more depth by default, in addition to having, as you enter certain segments, it'll actually readjust itself automatically. For like sequences where you want to see the greater layout and get a kind of preview of the puzzle as well.
Okay. Thanks very much.